Right, so let's give it a start. Others can have a look at the recording. So, good evening, everyone. I am Lieutenant Colonel Romil Barthwal. I am uh, a veteran Army officer. About me, I joined NDA in 1994, retired last year, and then I joined this company called Boots and Crampons. And we met, me and Bharat. Bharat is the founder. Bharat and me met at the Everest. Once I was climbing the Everest as an army team leader. Bharat was climbing with a team to Lhotse, which is one of the highest mountains in the world. So there are 14 mountains which are more than 8,000 meters, and Everest is obviously one of them. And Bharat has done Everest, Manaslu, Lhotse, and he's here to do other ones he plans to do because he's young blood. Young people have more guts to do. So that's what he's doing. I'm focusing more towards the trek and easier kind of climbs because that's what my interest is these days. Apart from that, we've just finished two treks in Himachal. We came back just day before, and next we are heading to 30th of July. We are doing one expedition which is kind of the toughest in India, which is Mount Kun, which is a 7,000 meters, and it is almost double than what we are going to do in our trek to Patalwan in the Gurez, just near Gurez trek. Right. So this is in brief about our company. Bharat will speak in detail about what all our company does, so that you get more confident about that you are in safe hands. And being in the army, we've been dealing with lots of treks all through our life. We have Colonel Bisht, who has been in Gurez for his command during his army tenure, and he's much senior to us, and he's been guiding us in this project and in general about the company. So he'll be doing taking over after the Bharat thing is over. Apart from me, I've been into adventure for quite a long time, and same is with my wife and both the kids. My elder daughter recently did her expedition to Mount Patalsu, which is kind of similar height to what we'll be doing uh, in Gurez. But then thing is that what we did in Patalsu, we did in 3 days. We have close to 7 days for doing the same uh, in the Gurez trek. So as I see, most of us here are first timers. So I want to say that there's nothing to be afraid. If you're a first timer, you just have to follow whatever is being told as far as the instructions are concerned, and if you follow it properly, I'm sure things are going to be fine. Have faith in us. We have immense experience leading people to top of the world to Everest, so this is kind of easy. But then it's good if you train well. So we'll tell you what should be your training for the next 3 weeks, so that you're better prepared for the upcoming trek which is there. We'll also be guiding you the kind of clothes you should have, the kind of accessories you should be carrying, and apart from that, various admin issues like flights and other things. Right. So with this, I hand over to Bharat. Bharat, you can tell about yourself and the company now on. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening, everyone. So I'm Bharat. I'm from Hyderabad. I stay in Hyderabad. Yeah. So about me. I graduated in genetic engineering. After that, like I'm completely into mountains, never into job kind of thing. So from then I was trekking, like climbing mountains, all those things. So 2015 first I tried my Everest expedition. Okay, it was failed because of no, Nepal earthquake. Then again I climbed in 2017. So after my 2017 expedition, I started this company called Boots and Crampons, which is into like trekking and mountaineering activities. So in the first level, when we started the company, all the trekking and expeditions was, the business model is doing all these expeditions outside of India. Okay, it's not a, no, thought of planning anything in India. So it started that way in 2017 August. We started the company. So we have done expeditions in Europe, in Africa, in South America, in Australia, in Nepal. Like this. We are taking people from India to other continents. To climb mountains. We mainly focused on seven summit series. So we are currently working. Currently busy with five of the summits. Like next two more are there in other two continents, Antarctica and North America. We'll tap it very soon. So this is the business model started. So in 2019, when I'm climbing Lhotse, I met Romil sir at the base camp, because like both Everest and Lhotse both share the same base camp. The only light, the summit day is different for both. All till camp 4, both are same. So Romil sir and me, we spent a lot of time at the base camp. So we used to discuss a lot of things. Okay, we both are like, like-minded people kind of thing. So we thought of like, taking this company to the next level. So discussed with Romil sir about the plan. So Romil sir joined the company 2020. So then we started like, taking this business model further level. So we started many treks and expeditions in India also. So from then we are doing like from last October, after, Corona was happened, like after lockdown, we are taking a lot of people to lot of expeditions in Himachal, Uttarakhand, Kashmir, like this. So yeah, this is what about me and about the company, how it started and all. So even right now I'm going to sir is taking care of this Gurez trek, and there are a lot many more than me. Roman sir was busy now. Okay, because my expeditions will be like very few, at least till now. Okay, so this is what okay. So regarding the Gurez truck, so right now, for this Gurez truck, we were collaborated with Pradeep sir. So Pradeep sir can take the call regarding it.
Pradeep sir, you are on mute, I think.
My bad. Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Pradeep. And like Romil, I also took my premature retirement last year. And frankly, I wanted to go to my hometown and settle down. It's a good place in Uttarakhand. And wanted to do trekking that side. But as Corona and all these things happened, so those plans could not materialize. And recently, I associated with Romil, and very kind of him that he acknowledged it and associated me with it with the company. And I'll be just a brief about me. I have been climbing mountains all my life, though not expeditions like Bharat and Romil, but my job made me climb a lot of mountains. So initially, I have been in East Sikkim. My first post was at around 4,000 meters in Sikkim, and all I could see was snow, nothing else. So it was a routine, everyday trek. Every day used to go down, up, go up, and the nearest company was of a bear who used to come every alternate day to salvage some food from our kitty. So I have been in Gurez. I commanded my battalion in Gurez. In fact, where we are going is the easier part of Gurez. Where I commanded was towards further east and north. That is in the near a place called as Kobul Gali. The place is actually Badau. I was the end is called as Kobul Gali, from where you cross over to the Dras sector, the Kargil sector. So I have actually towards the north of the Kishan Ganga River. We will be going this time south, but towards the north, which is the higher terrain, I have trekked everywhere to the highest post over there, and it was a routine for us every day. Most of the posts are winter cut off for 8 to 10 months. So that is the state of terrain that is there in Gurez. And then I have also been in the place where Noon Bharat is going. I have been there for almost 2 years in Leh Ladakh, in Kargil area. And there I developed a liking for cycling also in altitude. So I took on that also. And I've been cycling also. I've been cycling from Dras to Kumathang and towards Leh. So those have been my passion. I've most of it, I've been an outdoor person. I love moving out, trekking and all. So I associated with Romil to come along with you guys because I'm familiar with the terrain and I'm aware of the area. I have connects over there. I have got people who know me. And in fact, the commander there is my postmate right now. So that is the added advantage. So in case of any assistance required, I could easily bank on him. So guys, I'll just take you through the itinerary. That's all about myself. I'll take you through the itinerary of the trip that we are going to do. So we expect you all to be there by say late afternoon on 8th, so that we get some time to do a small walk or something, so that we start our acclimatization, because most of you are coming from almost ground zero, and we don't want anybody to just start climbing, because altitude has its effects. So we'd like you to reach there by say somewhere late in the afternoon, so that after a short we can all go for a small trek and we can come back to our base, section amongst ourselves, introduce each other, rest for the night. Before we go on 9th, for a trek towards the area where we are going to go. I think somebody's
Excuse
mic-
me, can I request everyone to please stay on mute so that it's audible? Thank you.
Okay, so on 9th we again go on a acclimatation trek. We move to a higher altitude on the same route which we are going to take on 10th also towards Zawar Heights. We take you to a height of around 3,000 plus meters, and then we bring you back to the base. We intend to finish that activity by afternoon so that you get rest of the day free for yourself to interact with the locals, move around, get to know Grays a little bit more, because I know when we return, everybody would be in a rush to reach home. So we want that time to be utilized by you to know the culture, the people, and if you want to move around, that is totally up to you. So 10th we start the trek. 10th we leave in the morning and we head for the Dawar Heights along the Tsan Nala. That day there is a considerable climb. If you see, if I don't know if you have googled the area or not. So if you Google the area, you look for Dawar and look towards south, you can see the area where we are going to be. So it's a 5-6 hours walk, nothing too treacherous, I will say, and I don't want to tell you that it's going to be very difficult, but all of you seem to be very physically fit, so we won't rush it. We'll go easy, and aim is to enjoy the trek and take in the natural surroundings rather than just hit point to point. So we do that day. We reach Dawar Heights. We stay for the night over there. Next day is a climb further towards the south to the Patalwan Lake. The altitude maximum that you are going to touch is around 4,000 meters. You cross over and then we roll down to the lake. Lakeside is where we are going to camp for that night. So once we camp there, if you reach in time, you can move around. After that, on the next day, that is the 11th, we have totally free for ourselves, where we will try and do some summits. Okay, so we do some certain summits. We'll inform you beforehand what we're going to do. That we'll take the call on ground depending on the physical. I'll not say standards. I'll say physical fitness of the people and their willingness to go for that trek. And if we find that there is a clear divide, that certain people can't do a higher summit, then we'll go for a lower one also. We have got enough people. We'll divide it accordingly. So we'll keep everybody engaged that way. Next is on 12th, we do this. 13th, we roll down. We'll roll down in one day only. We will start early because rolling down we should be able to do in one day. There's no big deal about it. However, we don't want to rush it too much, so we'll start early. We'll go easy. We'll have a pause at Dawar Heights. That is our day one where we are halting in between. So we'll have a pause over there. We'll have an early lunch, and we roll back to Gurez. So that 13th by afternoon, late afternoon or early evening, you are there at Gurez, and you can plan for any further interaction you want to have with locals, or we can share our notes. We can have a small campfire or whatever, and then next day you are ready to leave early in the morning, because most of the people who like to catch flights on 14th, because 15th August is a slightly high security day in Srinagar, and there's a lot of hassles of traveling and all. So we don't want you to travel on 15th. That is what we recommend. The rest is all up to you. If you want to stay back in Srinagar and all, you want to enjoy, it's totally up to you. But what we recommend is 14th, you should hit Srinagar and try to get out of Srinagar on 14th itself. So that is for the trek part. Further, I'll hand over to Colonel Roman, and he will take on.
Thank you very much, sir. And sir has been the guiding light, because it's a totally new area, as we said, and we consider ourselves to be very, very fortunate that Army has given us this opportunity to conduct a trek in Kashmir, because this is totally untouched kind of an area compared to places where we do treks like Himachal, Uttarakhand and all. Generally, Boots and Crampons tries to focus on treks which are not very popular, because that's where you get the whole essence of treks. Otherwise, it becomes too crowded. But then this one is really unique. This is the first time Army has given us this opportunity, and we are also doing first time. So we consider it to be very fortunate. And then, as we say, if you want something, everything falls in place. That was the reason we realized, Bish sir called up. And once he called up, then we got this opportunity. And then we realized, that as he said, his coursemate is there, and things were, everything came out together in a very nice manner. So that's one. Other thing which I feel a lot of people ask us about this trek is, safety. So safety wise, there's no concern at all, because we understand safety, not just here, every time is a paramount importance. So safety wise, you don't have to worry at all, because, if you have Bisser and me coming, so we'll only take you once we are sure that, it's absolutely safe. And Army will also give permission only once they also realize, that things are uh, completely safe. So that thing we can keep it out of our mind. Now I'll come on to the points which will prepare you well for the next 20 days, so that you enjoy your trek in the coming time. You know, that's very important. And, it's very heartening to share that we have 3 people here who have already climbed with us, be it Rajni, Dev, and Nisha. So these 3 have already trekked with us earlier, and they understand that, if you trek, uh, if you prepare well, so obviously, your trek experience is going to be good. We'll not say easy, because boots and crampons, generally we push you a lot based on your capabilities, so that you really push yourself hard and you come out as a better person as regards your physical standards and understanding your capabilities. So we'll push you to the limit wherein we think that, you can be pushed. So don't worry on that, but prepare well, which means next 20 days, train hard. By train hard, it doesn't mean you go for a 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, or a 10-kilometer run. So running is not required. You can just go on long walks. I'm sure everybody can walk. So if you've been able to go for half an hour or 1 hour of a walk, try and increase the time of walk. What we say is time on feet. So if you've spent 1 hour on a walk as of now comfortably, so you should increase to 2 hours or 3 hours, gradually build it up. Right? Once you're able to do it, you'll be able to enjoy the trek in a much better manner, and it will be very fruitful for the final trek once we're doing. Other thing is, try to be as comfortable being uncomfortable, which means that, uh, try and carry a backpack if you are going for long walks. Try and wear your trekking shoes. We strongly recommend you not to come in your sports shoes, because you'll not get spare time and place to buy in Srinagar. So ideally, you should have a trekking shoe once you're coming. If you want a suggestion, we'll ask Bharat. He can share the link of the recommended shoe which we want you to carry. Similarly, the bottle we have already shared. We'll share it again for the people who have joined today. So water bottle is must. So that you don't find any waterborne disease or something like that. Bharat will share about the shoes which you should be wearing. So all your training should be in those shoes now onwards. Right? We see a lot of people, they'll buy shoes just a day or two prior the trek, and then they'll have issues like, shoe bite and things like that. That should not be the case. If you want it on rent, you can let us know. We have a team which handles the renting part as well. So that can be taken care of. But then all your training, try to be in your trekking shoes as much as possible. Apart from that, we have also given a provision of using a facility of mule. So if you are not too much into fitness, you find it will be difficult for you to sustain, take a mule, because then your backpack becomes very easy. You don't have to carry big load. For us, we carry it because we've been doing it continuously for so many years. But then, and we recommend you to carry if you are into fitness. But if you have not been keeping yourself fit, then it's okay to carry, have a mule and dump the stuff there. In that case, you'll need a very light backpack. There's a 20-liter backpack you can get from Decathlon. You carry that. It should have only a water bottle, maybe a layer of clothing, and something to eat, snacks, something like a chocolate, toffees, or whatever you want for as a snack for you with you. And every day we want, now onwards, that if you have a watch which gives a number of steps, then you should be clocking at least 5 to 10,000 based on your capabilities, right? So if you've not been doing much, then start with 3,000 or 4,000. But then if you're regular into fitness, you should target at close to 10,000 steps per day from here on to the time we start the trek. So 10,000 is minimum. especially for young people like Anirudh and such people, you know, so you can always build up on that. Another thing is that a lot of children who are coming in this trek. So this is, we have pitched for that. As we said, people like Dev Karan and all, they have not, they've been to a similar height like in Patalsu, but then that was only for 4 days. This time we have longer duration. So you get adequate time to train, adequate time to acclimatize your body. So keep that in mind. So in that again is taken care of. One more thing I want to highlight is that, you know, this is you know, if I may say, this is not a luxury kind of a trek. Like I'll give you an example. In the previous trek, there was this person who had this thing in mind that, you know, we are going on a picnic. So get that thing out. It's not a picnic. So she was again time and again complaining कि रोमिल sir, मैं तो अंताक्षरी खेलने आई थी यहाँ पे. So that is not going to happen. You know, if this is a proper trek, and you know, we'll make sure you push yourself to the limits. It's going to be difficult for all of you, but then it's going to be worth it. That's, I'm damn sure. You're going to make sure that it's worth it. You feel that you have pushed yourself, uh, you have, you know, gone deep, and you have found out that, you know, you are much more capable than what you think you are. So that's the premise on which we work, and it's going to be lifetime experience, and that's for sure. All those people who have trekked with us can vouch for that. That, you know, it's going to be something which will really be testing your limits. So this is in journal which we had to share. So what I said, I'll repeat: trekking shoes, start training as early as possible. If you have trekking shoes already, start wearing them from tomorrow onwards. If you don't have a trekking shoe, buy it as early as possible. And if you have a shoe, but you're not sure whether it's going to work or not, this jacket is going to work or not, please feel free to, you know, share a WhatsApp pic. We'll tell you whether this kind of a shoe will work on that kind of terrain, this kind of jacket, this kind of glove, or something that is going to work or not. Right? So that, feel absolutely free to ask. We'll be happy to answer you, because we don't want a situation wherein you reach there and then you take out your sports shoes and we say, you know, it's not going to work. So killing that thing here itself. We don't want any issues coming up later on, and we are there to help you and guide you whatever. Shoes, socks also we'll tell you, you know, in case you have questions on that. Daily workout I've told. Try to, you know, be mentally strong. How you do that is, you know, if you're doing plank, so if you're able to do it for 1 minute, try to push it for 1 minute, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Push-ups again, you know, if you're able to do 10, try and push yourself to do 11, 12, something like that. So we are on there on Instagram. You can check our handles, what kind of tricks we do, what kind of, you know, things we happen. And as I said, this is the first time which Army has told us to conduct this trek. So facilities wise, we'll try to give you the best, but then it will not be, you know, a luxury kind of a trip. As I said, it's not going to be a picnic. It's going to be a proper trek, and you're going to be pushing yourself quite a lot. Right. So I think I've spoken a lot. Now, if anyone has questions, I'm sure you should be having. Feel free to ask, and we'll be happy to answer all of them one by one. Please go ahead. Suranjana ma'am, you are also here. Good evening. Suranjana ma'am, you are on mute.
Is this the correct meet or did I miss my time? 7 to 8.
No, 8 o'clock we were supposed to be there.
Oh, 8 o'clock is supposed to be. Okay.
Ajay, yeah, I can see your hand. Please go ahead. You can ask.
Yeah, hi Romil. Apologies that I could not join on 8 o'clock. And I'm new to the group, so I was.
No worries, Ajay.
Yeah. So I'm sure like you spoke about a lot of stuff. And being a trek, what about like, you know, electricity and charging our phones and other stuff? Because I would like to carry my camera and like, you know, charge equipments and all. So do you have any pointers on that?
So on trek, you know, there is not going to be any electricity. What we do is I have 4 power banks. I have 1 power bank with a solar charger. So, you know, we can share, but then generally on these kind of treks, and not just this trek, for all other treks also, there's no, because carrying a generator becomes a big mess, you know, it's such a heavy thing. It's not possible. So we are as minimalist. So on phone also, we'll keep it on flight mode and we'll only use it for a limited time so that to conserve the battery and take photographs. So if you're coming with a camera, you need to have a battery backup or a battery bank along with you, so as to keep it charged.
Okay, just one second, Ajay. First of all, Gurez doesn't have any electricity of its own. If you're not aware of it, I'll just inform everybody. The entire Gurez Valley has got, it runs on generators. Okay, yeah. So, and it is only for
I was not
Dawar.
aware.
Dawar is a
Yeah.
lucky village where we are going to be, which has its
Mhm.
own generator backup, and they get around 5-6 hours of electricity in the evening, not in
Mhm.
daytime. So if it
Okay.
comes in daytime, it may be a luxury, but at the campsite, we'll request the army people to help us out with some generators so that you can, charge your equipment and whatever you have to do. On the trek, it will be slightly difficult. So
Okay.
as Rahul has told, it's a very remote area, by the way. Okay,
Yeah, I figured that out. Yeah.
it's a very remote area, and I was there around 10, 11 years back, and now also nothing has changed. Nothing great has changed. Okay, so
Actually, I was coming from experience when I went to Chopta and there was no electricity, so I was surprised that time. So
no,
the
very good.
because it's a
Very
long
nice
trek,
that
5
you,
days. So
very nice that you
yeah.
asked this question because a lot of people don't have such a lot. Okay, so I hope that satisfies everybody's query on the electricity part as such. Yeah, Ajay, you have another question or something?
Yes, sir. Good evening. I
Yeah,
have
one more.
please go ahead.
Can I complete?
Please
Thank
go
you. So the timings from like Srinagar to Gurez, do we have any times and the return thing so that we can plan our return tickets stuff? So like, what is the estimated time if I missed that section in the beginning?
Okay, the estimated time or rough time is around, it takes around 6 hours because uphill from, are you asking from Srinagar to Dawar?
Srinagar.
Yeah, Srinagar to Dawar is around
both ways actually.
Yeah, Srinagar is 6 hours, and when you come downhill, you can reduce 1 hour, maybe 5 hours. Okay.
So when do we reach back on 14th?
14th,
What time we reach back?
14th, it all depends on you. We can earliest depart by around 5:30, so that around say 11:30 you are comfortably there. And if you take 2 hours of checking at airport, all those things, so by 1:30 you should be comfortably in your flight. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why I recommend to everybody, since you have just joined, we have been on the group. I've recommended to everybody that book a flight post 2:30. That would be safer. I myself, I'm flying out at I got a flight of 3:20 to be on the safer side.
I got that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And for flying in, I recommend that you take the earliest flight so that you reach in time. We can be in Dawar around lunchtime or after lunch, so that you can be settled in. You just don't reach in the hours of darkness.
Got it. Thank you so much, Roman.
Yeah, Anirudh, you had something.
Sir, good evening. I just had two pieces of questions. The first is I just wanted to clarify the temperature specifications of our down jacket, since it is mentioned in the itinerary. So what is the temperature specifications that we should ideally take?
Ideally, it's not going to dip below zero unless it rains. That wind chill factor may jump in, but I don't think you will require anything below 5 degrees. I think 5 degrees to 15 degrees should suffice.
Okay, sir. And another thing is duffel bag. I didn't get that because my internet was lacking.
You can take this one.
Yeah. So Anirudh, if you have a backpack, I'm sure your father was there for the base camp, Everest
Yes.
base camp trek. So you have a backpack. That backpack would suffice.
Okay, sir.
And for you, you don't require a mule. You're a young boy, so we'll
Yeah.
not let you use that.
You must help us out also.
Sir, definitely, sir.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question you have?
No, sir. That's all.
Ajit,
Thank you.
you had some query.
So I'm under 45, so I've only managed to get my first dose of the vaccine right now. And you've told us to bounce by the 14th, so we booked our tickets accordingly. So will I be able to organize an RT-PCR test anywhere so I can enter Maharashtra safely at any point at the airport or wherever?
RTPC or see right now we had 3 people who joined us for the Atalsu trek day before.
Yes.
So while going back, they didn't have an RT-PCR done. I'm not sure how did they manage it because they were from Mumbai, and immediately after the trek they took a Volvo from Manali to this place, and then they took a flight from here to Bombay, and they didn't have an RT-PCR done. So let me check, and we'll let you know how to do that.
All right. Thank you.
But Ajit ji, are there restrictions? अभी तो मेरे को नहीं लग रहा कोई restriction है.
For 2
No,
doors.
there are. Mumbai, you have to have a valid. So my wife came just from Goa just yesterday or day before. Had to
Alright.
show an RT-PCR, and all passengers had to show that. So
All right.
that's there at the moment, and this keeps changing. It will
Yeah, but wait, was it for boarding or on arrival?
boarding and on arrival.
Achha, boarding also.
Okay, we'll check, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Niru, I
Vishal,
think,
sir. Sorry.
I think Niru had some query. Achha, we can. Achha, Vishal will take you on first. Vishal.
Good evening, sir. I'm Commander Vishal, sir. I'm presently working in Indian Navy and posted in Delhi. So I'm so glad to join you and come under your wings for this trek, which is in fact first trek for me. Though I have spent sleepless night in various camps during my training and subsequently afterwards, but taking leave and going for a special trek, I really look forward to it. Sir, being in Navy, I spend most of the time in water, and I've never been to such a high altitude except for in Gurudhamar Lake in Sikkim. Sir, I want to know, sir, like one of our own, one of our teammates basically for this trek, he is asked regarding the temperature. He said, you said around 5 degree would be the minimum unless it rains. So, may I know, sir, whether the cloth or the list of items which you've given in your pamphlet, is it sufficient for me, or do I need to cater for something extra out of this? Second is regarding lighting, like emergency, there is no supply over there. So specifically, do I need to carry any special light so that during night for moving around or having lunch or having food, whatever? Because you can enlighten me on this regard, sir, if you can kindly.
Sure, sir. So what happens, we carry a jacket. Jacket would solve the purpose if the jacket has a rating which is able to handle 0 degree, that should be enough, for as regards the cold is concerned. Otherwise, we'll have sleeping bag and all for night, and we'll have thermals, in case the temperature dips. So those are there. Regarding light, what we do is, for moving in a campsite and all, wherever we are. So generally we use a headlight or a mobile light which is there, but then you need to make sure you're carrying sufficient batteries so that it stays charged for 6-7 days. So that arrangements will have to be done, AAA battery or AA battery, whichever is there on the headlight, or you keep the mobile charged so that you are able to handle that. Because during the trek, it's never going to be a case wherein you'll need it. So the headlight and all. Generally, if you are doing, let's say we are doing Kilimanjaro. So Kilimanjaro, we start at midnight and we trek the whole night. So that time we recommend everyone to have that headlight. So if you have a headlight, it's fine. Otherwise, a mobile with sufficient battery backup will be able to solve the purpose.
Thank you, sir.
Just a small advice for everybody regarding clothing. You see, when you're walking, you don't feel cold. So no need to mount your jacket when you're climbing. That you can carry in your duffel bag or backpack which you have. It is better to wear layered clothing. In mountains, better to have layered clothing. So layered means wear a t-shirt underneath, or wear 2 t-shirts, one a little loose fitting t-shirt, or a fleece jacket, a light fleece jacket. So it makes air pockets. Your body remains warm. And as far as the thermals, you must carry a pair of thermals, upper and lower both, which you will definitely require while sleeping at night. Okay. So you have we will be providing you with the sleeping bags and all. If somebody feels you really have that fear of cold, you can always carry. I was telling the other day, Romil also, you can always carry that hot water bottle and you can fill it with water and put it in your bag and go to sleep comfortably. That we can do because there are no heating arrangements otherwise. So that little bit, these are small tips. Like if you feel that you will feel very cold, you can carry a rubberized bottle, or we can procure it there only. So we'll try and procure it there only. So that would suffice for anybody who is actually, younger people may not require it, but for the people who are slightly in our age group or further may require it. So that is totally up to you. But don't pack too much clothing. Okay, surely you are all not going to shower during the trek, so please don't try to carry changes and all. So and nobody's even going to complain about it. You may carry a deo or something if you want.
So there was a question which has come in the chat box, which says that, meeting point if while coming from Srinagar to Dawar or, Gurez. So what we're going to do is that, once everybody is done the reservations, we'll patch up the people who are coming in similar times, and then they'll take the vehicle together from the airport itself to Gurez. So, the first 6 people or 7 people based on the vehicle, those people who come together in similar times, they'll come. So bottom line, what as Sir was also mentioning was that, while coming, take the first flight to reach on 8th. While returning, take the last flight to come from Srinagar on 14th. So that should be generally the thing. And as we said, before lunch has to be there on 8th, and after lunch has to be there on 14th. So these are the broad things which you should keep in mind once you're doing your flight booking scenario. Yeah, Ajay, please, you can ask.
Yeah, Romil, thanks. So like you said that different batches will be leaving from Srinagar to the meeting point, which is as Dawar and Gurez. So what do you think in expected last batch would be coming from Srinagar to Dawar? What is the last possible batch which you can accommodate there?
See, last will be the closest to the lunch time, before lunch, whichever the last people, whenever they're joining. So they'll close and they go together. But then, we understand that it's a team thing. So if you reach as early as possible, that will be ideal.
Okay. And like, what kind of vehicles will be you like? Do we have arrangements from transportation, or like, what is the plan for that? Like, how do the batches move?
So we have tied up Innova. So Innova will be there. Pradeep sir, correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
Okay.
Innova oblique similar vehicle.
It's Innovas oblique Scorpios.
Oh yeah, I so but a 6-seater kind of thing, right? 5-seater, 6-seater. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, got that. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, anyone, any more questions? Good time to ask.
Hi, Romil. Sumit Kular this side.
Hi, Kular sir. Please go ahead.
I was just like YouTubing a few of the videos from Gurez. They were posted 2-3 days back only. And there was some like road problem. The cars were not able to reach till Gurez or some point. So have you taken up the like contingency plan if roads are not there, how to move and all?
So, Kular sir, what happens is that, we have a constant, we are in touch with the team which is there, the army det which is there in Gurez. So in case something like this comes up, so we have tie-ups with them. We'll find some alternative arrangements, either a circuitous route or something as an alternative. Pradeep sir, if we can add anything.
You see, the area, when you start from Bandipur, you reach Truckball, and after Truckball towards Razdan Pass, there's a problem of connectivity because of the rains. At times, the road gets washed off. A little bit of the portion gets washed off. However, if that be so, then Truckball there's a BSF camp over there. We'll make arrangements accordingly.
Yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Thanks.
I think Noori is not here. Noori had some question and she was asking about something. Okay, so when you find RT-PCR test is mandatory as per Srinagar requirements, J&K government requirements. But if you do not have that mandatory test, then I believe they are doing a rapid antigen test at the airport itself. Okay, so if you, it just saves some time for you to move out. If you carry the RT-PCR negative report with you, it saves some time for you. Otherwise, they do a RT-PCR, RAT test over there, and post the negative report, you move out. So it takes around half an hour or 1 hour, depending on how many people have already got the test or not. So it is advisable that you get your RT-PCR test prior to you move in, because it will ease your problem at the airport. Okay, so I think most of the doubts are clear. Gentlemen, will you please feel free to post your queries anytime, anything. We are 24/7 available, and because being a new trek for you all, it's a remote area. It is a challenging trek for us also because of the the infrastructure not being there in terms of guest houses, the hotels. There are a lot of challenges, but we wanted to introduce this area, and the government, the Indian Army is working towards promoting this remote area which is cut off from Kashmir. Actually, they do not call them Kashmiris. They call themselves they are related to the Dardistan tribe, which is towards Gilgit Baltistan. Okay, so and their language is also different. They speak a different dialect. It's called as Sheena. Okay, so these guys are totally throughout the history, it has been seen that even during the invasion from Pakistan, so these guys actually supported the Indian Army. So militancy wise and otherwise also, these people have been always pro India. So that way people are very friendly and very patriotic, I'll say. But yes, due to the remoteness, there's a lot of poverty.
Yeah, Jay, please go ahead. I think you have a question.
No, I think what Pradeep was saying. So, are these people like? Can we like? Do we interact with these people like when on trekking and all those things, or do they support us?
Ajay, could you speak a little louder? I can't hear you.
I'm saying, do we get an opportunity to interact with people over there, the locals over there?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. The first day that you reach, we do a small acclimatization walk, and the next day, after the acclimatization, we are intending to get you back by lunchtime. So after lunchtime, we are going to let you interact with the people, and we are trying to get in touch with the locals also to get them over to the camp, maybe to interact with you. That also we are, and in fact, Romel himself are going there in advance to be there. To be there on the ground to see the actual situations for you. Just because the monsoons, how the monsoons are.
Yeah.
They are all predicting monsoon, and there is no monsoon right now. So it may rain later on also. So nothing can be predicted in advance. We'll be there. We'll be there to tie up everything.
Sorry, I have one more question. I don't know if it was answered earlier or not, but what about the medical support or medical facilities nearby, local, because being a remote place? So what are the arrangements for that? Just in case somebody needs any support or,
So we carry a basic medical kit along with us during the trek. For the major issues or something like that, there is a army hospital kind of it's a field hospital that we call, which is available at Dawar. So an army has assured us full support. And yeah, that way we are assured by them for any assistance required. They will be there. In fact, just to reassure you, they even assured that we will be keeping certain patrols that side so that you feel a little more safer. Though they won't be seen, though visible to you, but they have promised us that in that general area they will keep certain amount of people so that people have this indication because you're coming to the valley and so you have these indications.
That's very nice of them. Very sweet. And like, would you want to have any recommendation about any kind of general medicines to carry along with the?
Sorry, your voice is.
Sorry, I was saying that is there any generic kind of medicines you have a list of which we should carry along with us?
I don't think you should carry anything specific unless you want to carry something like a headache or something, or somebody has got some ailment which you are already aware of. If you are aware of some ailment of yours for which you are taking medication, that you should carry. Okay. I only can suggest you is you must carry pantoprazole, which is for basically, gastric and all. If you have got some allergy to some kind of water or something like that, that is the
Okay.
maximum you can carry. But then we will also be having all those things in our kit most of the times.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. Sorry, I had too many questions, but
No
this is
issues.
my first trek, so yeah.
It's better to have more questions before the trek.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Rama. So I was just wondering, could you share a list of, like basic must carries? So for example, even the trekking shoe, I remember you mentioning a certain brand and I think I've lost that conversation. So perhaps on the group, if you could just mention that, this is the ideal trekking shoe and like you mentioned for the bottle. So maybe one consolidated list of, absolute must cover kind of things. That would be helpful.
Sure, Rama. So what we'll do is we'll share, I'll just go through the things just now. So you'll have a shoe. We'll give you this model of shoe which we recommend you should be having. Three things once you're buying a shoe is that, it should have an ankle support so that in case of any twist and all, you're able to take it. Second is that, it should be waterproof or water resistant, whatever it is. And third is it should have a good grip, so if these three things are there in the shoe, that's nice. In case you already have a shoe and you're not sure, send us a photograph. We'll be able to guide you whether it's going to work or not. Second is carry multiple, socks so that a 7-day trek, you should have at least 3 to 4. If you want more, you are welcome to do that. Next, come to, trousers. Have multiple trousers again, which are able to, withstand for 7 days. Coming on to upper, you should have thermals for lower upper both. You should have a fleece lining, and you should have a jacket. These three are absolutely mandatory. Similarly, gloves you should be having, a woolen cap, as well as a sun hat. I think few lists we have given. Anything specific which is there regarding the shoe and all, we'll give you the model. You can go ahead and purchase that. And those have been time tested, shoes, whatever we're going to recommend. Goggles again are must, because at those places, goggles are important. That's majorly the thing. Regarding the medicine, which Mr. Rawat was asking, was that, we'll carry a set of medicines which are common. Anything specific to you, you should be carrying that, because you would be knowing what specific medicines, in case you want to carry, you can carry that. Otherwise, as backup, we are in touch with the army authorities always, and we can always bank on them. That's without doubt.
So I think Rama, I think Bharat has already, or I think you have shared that link on the our group for the shoe. I just saw it. So it is already there. So you can see. I think it's from Decathlon only.
Yeah, Decathlon. Apart from that, raincoat is again must. Everybody should be having the raincoat oblique. What do you call it? Either raincoat or poncho.
Poncho.
Yeah, you should be having that because rains nobody can predict, and we should be having that. So your backpack, day pack, which we say, should be having a raincoat, one layer of jacket or a upper layer, and it should be having some snacks and water bottle. So this is mandatory. Anything else? You can always ask. One more thing, yeah, food, we'll keep it vegetarian because generally on treks and all, getting non-vegetarian food, you're not sure when the item has been cut and all. So we'll be avoiding it. We'll have eggs, but then food wise, we'll keep it only vegetarian. No meat and chicken sort of a thing. Yeah, anyone else has questions, this is the time I think you can ask. Otherwise, feel free to call up or message on WhatsApp. Telephone network wise, yeah, one thing I must tell you is that everybody should be having a postpaid SIM because prepaids don't work there. And postpaid also, if you're buying, then Jio works best. That's what we've come to know from our team there. So Jio postpaid is best. And that's more or less about the network.
8th you will have network, 9th you will have network, 10th you may have slight amount of network at the tower heights, not very confident about it. So you can plan for 9th, 10th and 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay, 10th, 11th, 12th are the days where you are going to be on your own and blissful life without any disturbance from anywhere. No office, no, I don't know, or the forced bachelors, no ladies calling you. So you can enjoy your life. So I think we are pretty much done, Romil. Thanks, guys. It was very nice interacting with all of you. So please feel free, as Colonel Romil has told you, and anytime you have any doubt, please give us a call. We will be there.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mr. That was really helpful.
Thank you.
And most welcome, everyone. Anything you have in mind, feel free to ask now rather than keeping it to yourself. We'll be always happy to answer that. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Jai Hind.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
guys.
Good day, sir.
Bye.
Thanks.
Hi,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Bye, sir.